Well, welcome back, everybody. As Dr. Wilson said, for those of you that are new to the college, I'm Bill Comey. I'm the Vice President for Operations and Planning. The rest of our day is going to be focused on campus safety and emergency preparedness. And I'm glad to be kicking off this critically important segment of our agenda. As many of you know, our Public Safety and Preparedness Department is an important part of the college community. It's responsible for the protection of life, property, and assets of the college. However, it's important to understand that campus safety is a shared responsibility of everyone who comes to CSM to learn, to work, and to attend events. In order to help each of us know more about campus safety and to better understand the role we play in campus safety and emergency management, Dr. Wilson asked that we focus on this important topic at last year's convocation, and due to its importance, asked that we build on that shared experience at today's convocation by once again focusing on emergency preparedness. But this is not just a topic that we discuss at convocation. Providing a safe environment at CSM is the forefront of our minds and of utmost importance. So let me update you on some of the things that have happened over the past year to address safety and emergency preparedness. Since the last convocation, we installed Stop the Bleed kits in every building at every college campus. We revised and updated our occupant emergency plan posters and placed these in every classroom. These posters provide a quick reference guide on what to do in case of a wide variety of emergencies. We enhanced our public safety radio system to ensure that in an emergency we can communicate effectively between campuses and between emergency personnel, even if our phones are down or the cell phone towers are down. We conducted an exterior lighting assessment to identify areas of concern, and based on this assessment, we're beginning to install additional exterior lights, the first of which will be addressing a particularly dark section near the Center for Health Sciences. We held fire drills in each building across our campuses. We required senior leadership to take FEMA training from the Emergency Management Institute. We invited our emergency management team and members of college leadership to a tabletop workshop conducted by Charles County Emergency Management. We held an IT tabletop workshop to focus on ransomware attacks. And finally, we sought and were awarded a campus safety grant from the Maryland Higher Education Commission. This $375,000 grant will allow the college to install electronic locks on exterior doors on all 4 campuses. And we'll integrate these locks into an access control system. Such an access system will enable the college to provide credentials to students, employees, visitors, or vendors, or even an app on your phone. So in the future, during certain times, we can lock down buildings and only people who have the right credentials can get in buildings, thus making the college environment safer and more secure. These are just a sampling of the initiatives and activities that have been going on around the college since the last time we gathered at convocation. They have all enhanced our emergency preparedness. Let me add one more thing that happened. Late this spring, we hired Gary Lewis as our new Executive Director of Public Safety and Preparedness. For those of you that don't know, Gary came to us with over 20 years of experience in emergency management. He served as a law enforcement officer, an emergency medical technician, a FEMA disaster recovery specialist, and in a leadership role here in Charles County with the Department of Emergency Services. This experience and background that Gary brings to us will help the college build on the work we've already done and create a safe learning environment and to make that even better. In fact, Gary has already started to make an impact. He was the one who wrote the grant for the $375,000. So to finish out this morning's session and to prepare us for the afternoon breakout sessions, I'm going to turn the podium over to Gary Lewis, who will provide Emergency Management 2.0 training and information to you. Gary?
Thank you. So I'm going to follow everybody else and go off script for just a second. Can we give a round of applause? My public safety officers are all up here hiding in the rafters. They do a great job. So I truly believe that the job that they do is very valuable on campus and it keeps everybody safe so we can do the second most important job is educate our community. So I would like to say good afternoon, but it's still technically morning, so good morning, everybody. And thank you, Dr. Comey, for that introduction. So I joined the CSM team on June 3rd, and it has been a whirlwind. It's been busy since day one. But I'm glad to be part of the CSM team, and it is my pleasure to work with all of you in making the College of Southern Maryland a safe, prepared, and fun place for everyone. Now, I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge the work and effort made by Lieutenant Denise Mohan Hinsey while serving as the interim executive director. It is because of her she's hiding up there too, so. Yeah. So it is because of her I was able to work with CSM in conducting the tabletop exercise last spring, which ultimately led me here today. I inherited a talented and well-experienced department. So I must again thank you for joining us today. As members of the College of Southern Maryland, we must recognize that preparedness is not just a responsibility, but a vital part of our collective safety and well-being. So today, I want to discuss why being prepared matters and how we can all contribute to a safer and more resilient campus environment. So the College of Southern Maryland is committed to your safety and preparedness. We have established emergency response teams, updating our safety protocols, and conducting drills and are planning exercises to ensure we are ready to act in any situation. We have many plans for CSM this year. First, we will be updating our emergency operations plan, bringing our plans and preparedness up to date to fit the current climate of emergency management. We are implementing increased training and exercises for the CSM community as well. I feel fortunate to be around such a talented staff with so many great ideas and experience that we plan to implement many ideas from you and your colleagues. You may have experienced our CSM response of tornado warnings and watches firsthand last Friday, starting about 6:30 in the morning. This event shows exactly how we at the College of Southern Maryland respond. Our emergency management operations team began immediate communications through text messages, web pages, apps, and social media to ensure the safety of CSM staff, faculty, and students. And later today, during our breakout sessions, we will talk more about how we communicate on our Omni Alert broadcast system. As Dr. Comey has mentioned, we are continuously working to enhance our communication systems so that we can keep everyone informed during an emergency. So while we have systems in place, your role in preparedness cannot be overstated. Everyone is responsible for their safety and the safety of those around and emergencies at the institution. Staying informed and participating in training sessions and ensuring you are prepared both at home and on campus. Remember, preparedness is a community effort. Each of us contributes to our collective safety. So some of you may be familiar with our emergency operations plans. Others may not know much about it. So let me take a few minutes to talk about our EOP, or Emergency Operations Plans, from a high level. The EOP is designed to provide guidance for, response to, and management of minor emergencies, major emergencies, and disasters. Emergency information from the EOP is available to all of us on the CSM Safe page, formerly known as CSM Ready. Marketing, we changed that over with new marketing. So CSM Safe pages can be found on our internal intranet and our public-facing CSM website. The same information in a mobile-ready format can also be found on the CSM Safe app, a tool you'll be hearing more about later today. So let me pause here for a quick branding update. See, I jumped ahead a minute ago. With marketing's keen prompting during our rebranding, the decision has been made to change the name of our CSM Ready webpage to the CSM Safe webpage, effective today. So now all our emergency response venues will have the same name. Thank you. And I promise the slides are going to change momentarily. So each of us has a personal responsibility to know what to do before, during, and after an emergency to ensure our own safety. And we are expected to read and be familiar with safety and emergency information before an incident happens. Our EOP is an all hazards plan, meaning it applies to all types of hazards that can threaten the college, its occupants, and our surrounding communities. Hazards generally fall into three categories. So we have natural hazards, which are threats such as severe weather, fire, flooding, earthquake, or pandemics. We have technological hazards, which include things like cybersecurity attacks, hazardous material releases, and utility failures. And we have human-caused hazards, which are deliberate and intentional actions to threaten or harm others, including criminal or terrorist acts, school violence, or bomb threats. See, this light's going to change. See? Gotcha. All right. So just to frame the rest of my presentation with you honestly, much of what I will share with you today and for the remainder of my presentation is taken directly from the Federal Emergency Management Agency, also known as FEMA, as I am a certified trainer in a number of their course offerings. Disasters and emergencies can strike without warning. Be it a natural disaster or an emergency such as a fire or medical crisis. These events can disrupt our lives, cause damage, and pose serious risks to our safety. However, while we cannot always predict where or when these events will occur, we can certainly prepare ourselves to respond effectively. Again, a great resource for preparation can be found at ready.gov. It's a website operated by FEMA which provides useful tips and where a lot of this information can be found. So now we're going to go over the top 3 reasons why we should prepare. So preparedness is more than just creating a plan. It is about creating a culture of readiness. I firmly believe a well-prepared community can mitigate the impacts of disasters, recover quicker, and, most importantly, save lives. So let us break down the top 3 reasons to prepare. The primary reason to prepare for emergencies and disasters is to protect lives and ensure safety. When a disaster strikes, whether it is a natural event like a tornado or an emergency such as a fire, the immediate impact can be chaotic and overwhelming. Deep breath, deep breath. So preparation allows a quick response effectively, minimizing harm and potentially saving lives. Having a plan in place helps us mitigate these critical moments with confidence, whether it's knowing where to evacuate or how to administer basic first aid. The second reason to prepare is to mitigate the effect of disaster or emergency, reduce panic and stress. Disasters and emergencies are inherently stressful situations. However, a well-thought-out plan and proper preparation can significantly alleviate the anxiety that comes with these events. Preparation and drilling various scenarios helps in building our confidence and ensure that we are not scrambling for information and resources amid a crisis. The calm and reassurance that comes from knowing you have an emergency kit, a communication plan, and an evacuation route already in place aids in an effective physical and emotional response. Believe it or not, responding can be very emotional for some. So the third reason to prepare is to ensure that we as an institution can execute a quick and efficient recovery. Disasters and emergencies can have long-lasting effects, impacting not only our immediate safety, but also our ability to recover and rebuild. So by preparing in advance, we can significantly reduce the time it takes to get back on our feet. Having a recovery plan, knowing how to access emergency services, and understanding the resources available to us helps facilitate a smoother transition from disaster to recovery. All right. So the first step in the planning process is to assess the risks specific to our community. Here's how we start. So first you want to identify your local hazards. Research the types of emergencies that are most likely to occur in our area. This could include natural disasters or human-made events such as fires or chemical spills. You need to evaluate our personal needs. Consider the individual needs and those of your staff and students. Think about any special requirements such as mobility aids. And third, understand college protocols. Familiarize yourself with the College of Southern Maryland's emergency operations plans and procedures. Knowing the evacuation routes, emergency contacts, and safety protocols is essential. Once we have assessed our risks and needs, it is time to develop a detailed emergency plan. Here are some things you can include. A communication plan. Establish how you will maintain contact with staff and family. Evacuation plan. Identify a safe evacuation route, shelter-in-place locations, and make sure your staff and students know these routes and are practice using them. And then practice your plan. Now that you have a plan, practice it routinely. Regularly conducting will ensure everyone knows what to do in an emergency. Practicing includes annual exercises based on real-life scenarios, which we have plenty planned for the year, and practicing evacuation routes, communication methods, and the use of emergency equipment. Next slide. Oh, there we go. All right, so Maryland is home to many natural disasters, which include tornadoes, flooding, hurricanes, severe weather, and then extreme heat or cold. I think we're experiencing some extreme cold in here today. So every state has a risk of tornadoes, and we will be focusing the remainder of this presentation on tornadoes, watches, and warnings. It is important to understand the differences between a tornado watch and a tornado warning. Oh, too far. Backwards. It's not taco time yet. There we go. There we go. It's okay. The power of the clicker is a great responsibility. All right, so the idea of tornado watch and tornado warning can be very confusing. Truth be told, it did take me many years to understand the difference between the two. I used to lump them into both the same category. However, it is important to distinguish the differences between them as they are indeed different. So let's start by talking about tornado watch. There we go. So tornado watch means that conditions are favorable for tornadoes to develop. It is essentially a heads up that severe weather is possible or even on its way. Here's what you need to know about a tornado watch. So a tornado watch is issued by the National Weather Service when atmospheric conditions are conducive to tornado formation. It's basically an early call to be alert and ready. So now we'll discuss a tornado warning. So tornado warnings are more urgent. A tornado warning is issued when a tornado has been sighted or detected on radar. This means that the tornado is either occurring or imminent in your area. It's a serious alert indicating that you need to take immediate action to protect yourself and your students. Knowing the difference between a tornado watch and a tornado warning is crucial for your safety. So preparation versus immediate action. That's basically the difference between a watch and a warning. A watch allows us time to prepare, stay informed, and while warning requires us to have an immediate response to ensure the safety of ourselves and our students. Understanding this distinction helps you respond appropriately to each type of alert. It can also reduce panic. A clear understanding of these terms may reduce confusion and panic. You will know how to react, whether it's staying alert during a watch or taking immediate action or cover during a warning. And it enhances our safety. By recognizing and responding correctly to alerts, you can better protect yourself, your students, and staff from the dangers associated with tornadoes. So now it's taco time. There we go. So this shows the ingredients in tacos. So you're going to ask yourself, what is a taco tornado? Now, believe it or not, there's actually two examples of taco tornado, and this is not in the script, but while researching this, there's also an actual thing called taco tornado where you basically dump everything on a plate and make a big mess and you eat it. But we're not doing that. All right, so Created has a memorable example of how to differentiate between a watch and a warning. A tornado watch is like having all the ingredients for a taco. We just have not decided if we really want a taco yet. And believe it or not, this is widely used, very common in emergency management. Like, they love tacos. So a warning is telling us that the tacos have been made and either are on the table to eat or we should be on the lookout for their arrival. Now this is my promise. The next tornado watch or warning we have, you will be craving tacos. So what do we do next? When a tornado watch is in effect, you should monitor weather updates closely. Review the emergency plan and ensure you know where to go and what to do if a tornado warning is issued. It is also a good time to ensure your emergency kit is ready and accessible. Even though a tornado watch does not mean a tornado is imminent, it is important to stay alert. Check your surroundings for safe shelter options and be prepared to act quickly if conditions worsen. When a tornado warning is issued, seek shelter immediately. Move to a small interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. You need to avoid windows and exterior walls if possible, and if you are outside or in a vehicle, seek shelter in a nearby building if possible. If no shelter is available, we recommend lying in a low-lying area, lie flat, and cover your head. Now remember, action is key. During a tornado warning, do not wait to see if the tornado is outside before taking action. Follow any instructions given by CSM Public Safety, Emergency Operations Team, and local emergency officials, and stay safe until the warning has been lifted.